Hi there. So here we go. I'm gonna go ahead and stand on my yoga mat. You can stand wherever you're comfortable. I don't have any shoes on, but you can try it with shoes and without shoes. We're gonna start with our feet hip width apart. A nice grounded foot with a wide foot, all four corners of your feet just spread wide. And then I'm gonna place my hands on my hips just to get started. So what I like to do is I like to pick a side. I'm going to start on my right side. And I'm just going to start to lift up on my left. And I'm going to really focus on rooting down on my right. And I'm going to mentally walk through my stance here. I'm exaggerating this experience. Normally, I wouldn't probably take as much time doing this. I'd move into it. Plus, I've done it so many times that it's a little bit second nature. But with tree pose, I really like to focus on building like a scaffolding up, because it's all about our stability, and we're using a lot of our core when we do this, our leg as well. So I start with a foot and I make sure my foot is really wide and strong and rooted into the earth. And then I come up through the ankle and I mentally walk through to my knee, and my knee is slightly bent but strong. And then I'm lifting up through my thigh and into my hip, and my hip is straight. I'm not like this, I'm like this. So I'm focusing on a real strong pillar, if you will, up through to the crown. So once I have my right leg stable, then I'm going to take my left leg and I'm going to start to just bring it over like a kickstand. And my hip is twisting out, so my knee is pointing to the top of the mat. And my foot is resting, my heel is resting on my leg. So you can stay here and you can practice this. You can bring your hands to your heart, you can bring your hands above your head, you can grow leaves, you can do whatever you want. Or if you're feeling stable and you want to challenge yourself a little bit, you can bring your foot up a little bit. I know many people who can go all the way up to the inner thigh. For whatever reason, my body doesn't move that way, so I like to stay either like this or like this. And once I'm in my balancing pose, I decide which arms I want. I'm going to do this so I can talk to you. So I'm going to keep my hands here, let me show you one more time. So arms up. Sometimes I like to wiggle and pretend like these are my tree branches here, and then my leaves. You can sway a little bit. If you want to challenge yourself, you can close your eyes. That's really hard, but just play with it. And if you fall, get right back up. Just get right back up and make sure, like I'm already starting to lean a little bit, so I have to, it's hard work. So once you're in the pose, really kind of test yourself, and maybe you do it for like 10 seconds the first time, and then you move over to the other side and allow yourself to fall, because it's okay. You're practicing, you're rebuilding parts of your brain that might not be used to working in the same way. So balance is something we practice every single day. And what happens is once you start to have this awareness and this ability to pick yourself up. So like, for example, if I am in my pose and then all of a sudden I fall out of it and I just get right back up, I'm practicing getting back up. I'm practicing falling and I'm practicing getting back up. And those are things that really are important. So if you didn't see something slippery on the floor and then you start to lose your balance, you might even catch yourself because you're ready to catch yourself because you've been practicing that. And then when you fall, hopefully you didn't hurt yourself too much, you're able to get back up because you've been practicing that as well. So it's about the whole motion of coming into the pose and then falling out, getting back up, and staying in the pose and moving around and seeing how it feels to be in balance. And the more you do it, the more you get better at it. And the more you can try different things. And sometimes I'll do some things that are really challenging and maybe do eagle arms because I'm in yoga. So obviously, you know, I'm teaching yoga and I'm challenging myself in different ways. But once you start to play with your balance, you can do things, you know, like coming down and maybe grabbing onto your ankle or something like that. You know, you can really focus on staying in this strong pose. And I'm using my whole leg, my core is engaged, and I'm building strength, building muscle, and building balance. And I'm practicing and making my brain remember how it feels to be in balance. Remember how it feels to fall out and still be safe. And remember how it feels to pick yourself up. So we're learning something new, and I encourage you to make mistakes because there's no final performance. This is just all about you practicing. Have fun with it.